I have learned that every time that life slows things down and you're entered into this period where things get quiet, maybe like for me, for example, I'm building this breathwork business, brand, world. I'm creating content, I post online, and like I will have this momentum going, right? People will be following me, liking my stuff, commenting. Things are moving, things are happening, and it happens like with my hormones too. And then suddenly it all goes quiet. And in that quiet moment, right, suddenly like doubt creeps in. You wonder if you mess something up. You wonder if you should be doing more. You wonder if you should be posting more, saying the right things, doing what other people are doing, following trends. Like, what happened, right? Did I mess something up? But those periods of time where it goes quiet are the most potent times. That is the time of the calm before the storm. It's your time to revisit, to go back inside and to like clean house, essentially. Literally, like clean your house, make sure everything is in order, but also internally clean house. It's the calm before the storm. Another period of forward momentum is coming, 1000%. Like 1000%, it is on the way. And when you shift your perception of those quiet moments from like, oh my God, I fucked up, something's wrong, I need to fix this, to, oh, this is good. I get to relax. I get to hermit a little bit. I get to appreciate everything I just did. Because I don't know about you, but like I will have these monumental growth periods and then I'll just be on to the next one. Ready for the next thing. On to the next mountain peak. But it's really good to take a moment and be like, oh my God, so much has just happened. And it's really good to appreciate it before jumping to the next thing. And these quiet moments used to freak me out so bad because internally I am always running. My mind is always running. And so I've learned like different techniques to keep me balanced during the quiet periods that actually don't feel like I am reprimanding myself, but feel really nourishing. So I will spend time with the elements. I will go outside, I will take my shoes off, and I will ground into the earth. I will go and stand in the lake and take deep breaths in through my nose and hum on the exhale. And that hum literally resonates you like a tuning fork through your body to the resonance of the lake and the elements around you. It's so cool. Have you ever tried it? It's so cool. You will literally, like, your sound changes, the way that you hear sound, the way that your body feels, the way that your feet feel in the water, all of it shifts just from humming, because you are stimulating the vagal nerve in your body and you're sending signals of safety through your body. So you're essentially training yourself like a dog. So I have raised so many dogs in my life. I think I've raised about 50 dogs, and I've had a pack of dogs at the same time, my land hippos, 4 of them at once. I'm really familiar with training dogs, and so I train myself like a dog. I kind of train you guys like dogs too, in a way, because I'm using specific sounds and specific cues to correlate me with that sound, or a certain action with a certain sound, or a certain feeling. So like in these quiet moments, right, in these ebbs and flows of life, when life turns inward and when life gets a little harder and you can't just run to the next thing and you actually have to sit with yourself, I have these dog training cues for myself. So if I start to feel sad, that is a cue to go spend time with nature. That is a cue to go outside, sit down, turn off the noise, and just breathe. And sometimes you can't go outside and sit and just breathe. And so even in whatever I'm doing, I will consciously notice, hey, I am shifting into a more dense emotion. Anger, frustration, annoyance, jealousy, bitterness, resentment, name them. And I will catch myself, because that's the first thing, right? Catching yourself in that awareness. And if I've successfully caught myself, I will take a nice deep breath. I will consciously remember to breathe into my belly instead of my chest and take a nice diaphragmatic breath. I do this all the time, anywhere and everywhere. And most people will be like, oh, are you okay? Why are you sighing? But it's my way of rebalancing. If I feel myself thinking that something outside of me has my power, that somebody outside of me is parasitically taking my energy, can't leave my brain, all I think about is them, I can't do anything but worry, I will pull that out and I will snap it cut. I will pull it out and I will clap it cut. I will pull it out and I will just cut it with my hand sometimes. And I do this so nonchalantly through my life that it's just become a part of my life. But these are the weird training cues that I have trained myself with like a dog. Instead of numbing, when you decide to live a more raw life, you have to come up with different ways of handling the ups and downs of life. When you decide that you are no longer going to run from yourself, you have to figure out how to be with yourself in the darkness. And it's not always a matter of doing shadow work and sitting with your shadows and going to the deep, dark parts of your history, but it's just being okay, being not okay. Being okay, being bad, doing something wrong, incorrectly assessing a situation, doing the wrong thing, making the wrong choice, whatever it is, whatever sends you into that fight, flight, freeze situation inside of you, and it can be the smallest things. It could be really big things too, but it can be the smallest things. How can you be with yourself in those moments? And so for me, it was a lot of spending time outside. Walks. I took so many walks. I walk everywhere, all the time, constantly. Walking and taking long drives have become like the best. With some good music or a good podcast. Music better than podcasts though, because even constantly listening to podcasts, you are training yourself to constantly be in a cycle of betterment. And if you're in a constant cycle of betterment, that means that something is missing. Something is lacking, something needs fixing. You need to get to a place that you are not yet at in some way, shape, or form. And so I will spend periods of time listening to podcasts or books or whatever and teaching or like learning and studying things, but then I will actively not do that. I will actively just listen to music, and music that I know that vibrationally isn't the highest thing that I could be listening to, but I like it. I love it. It makes me feel good. It makes me want to dance. It makes me want to be in my body and be present. And that to me, with the brain that I have that is always working overtime, always on to the next thing, always ready to do more, is exactly the medicine that it needs. We can should ourselves to death. And most of us literally do. And I know I did for a very long time. And it made my body start to crumble. It made me start to resent my own life. And it felt like somebody was choking me, but it was my own hands doing it to myself. And so now I actively unshould myself. Oh, I should do this? Okay, how about I do the opposite? How would it feel to do the opposite? How can I be with myself when it doesn't feel good to do the opposite? Again, the dog training, it's like small incremental steps, but instead of going in the direction that you think you should go in, going in the opposite direction, learning about the opposite side of the story, learning about the ancient history that they don't tell you about, learning about the way of looking at the world that they tell you not to look at, all the things, doing the opposite, becoming comfortable with doing the opposite, being misunderstood, or doing the misunderstood thing, and then realizing that that's where balance is. That's where choice comes through. That's where flow is. Where you're not constantly seeking and striving, planning and creating and controlling, but you're being, and you're okay being. And it's weirdly harder to be okay being than it is to do and keep doing. We're such a funny little fractal thing, and I love it so much. So I will go stand in the lake and I will hum. And then I will sit and I will hum. And I will hum to a point where I forget that I am sitting and humming. That I forget where I am, who I am, why I'm there, and why I started humming in the first place. And when I reach that point, that is when I know that I've done what I meant to do. I did by not doing, and I bead by doing less. So how do you train yourself like a dog when you have no time for anything but the things that you need to be doing, right? Life is on autopilot. So many things need to get done. You have bills, you have kids, you have family, you have all the things. What do? You start by taking very small micro steps. Micro steps like noticing your breath. Oh, I'm running. Notice, where's my breath? Can I deepen it? Okay. Feel a little slower now. Feels like I created some space. What can I do with that space? Maybe notice what choice I was going to make and maybe make the opposite one. Try it on for size. See what that feels like. Micro moments. And those micro moments compound exponentially over time. The more that you notice, the more aware you become. And it doesn't require, entire breathwork journeys every time or sitting down and meditating to reach that clarity. It really does come back to just noticing. The amount of awareness that you can practice creates space in your life. And when you notice instead of judge, you're approaching where you're at with curiosity, with grace, with compassion, with appreciation. It's less about fixing and more about being with where you're at. And that noticing, that awareness, those micro moments of snapping back into the present allow you to do that. And that's where you can start to play. And no one except for yourself is telling you that you need to have this all figured out right now, in this moment in time, right here, right now, so that you can be perfect in the future, so that you can be better than you were before. Neither of those exist. They're just constructs of our mind to give us somewhere to go to and somewhere to have come from. But we apply the judgments. We decide how much weight those two fractals of the hologram have on our existence in the here and now. And we again notice, and we again snap back, and we take a nice deep breath and come back to the space in between. And that's where it all starts. That's where it all starts, that's where it all goes, and that's where it all ends. Silly. This is why I say, I love inner alchemy and self-transformation, because I see it like a game. I play it like a game. And I think every time that I notice myself taking life too seriously and taking where I'm trying to go, what I'm trying to create, what I'm trying to do too seriously, I start to laugh at myself, because it's so funny. We create our own tizzies, and I am so good at it. I am so good at freaking myself out in a variety of ways. So to be able to notice that and snap out of it and come to a perception that allows me to laugh at myself is so freeing. I cannot explain to you.